It won't be easy. And if you think about it, if we had done the job right a few months back, this day would not be necessary.
That's what I have on my poster. Apathetic voter turnout.
Time to time we get lulled into thinking that somehow, someone, somewhere else will take care of things and do the right thing. And that's just not the way democracy works. It needs engagement. It needs involvement. It needs hard work. Just the way you have to work hard on that part to make it successful. You have to work hard in a democracy to make it fair and to make it representative and to create opportunity for people. That is really what citizenship is all about. It's creating opportunity for people. It's understanding that we can only be a strong nation if we understand our common wealth and what we each need to do as citizens to ensure that commonwealth. And it means sacrifice from time to time. It means doing something that gets us outside of our comfort zone. It means occasionally running for political office or helping those who do in a fashion that helps us elect the sorts of people that really care about democracy. So this charge is for you. You need to go to work back in your home areas, in your communities, reestablishing democracy by electing people who respect it. I'm going to tell you, I can't believe I was occasionally spoken before, but never to a rally quite this size. But I can rarely leave without talking a little bit about a farm experience, because it seems to be everything I needed to know for adult life, I learned on that farm. Now, from time to time, I've talked about how alarmed my mother would get when the animals would get out, you know, the cows and the corn, that sort of thing. And, you know, she'd come running for me and my siblings to come and get the fences up and get them in and get them back where they belong. But I've never told you the hog story. And I think that the hog story really does apply to what we are all facing today. We had hogs on the farm, we didn't sell them. We raised them for meat. We always have 3. Because hogs will work on your behalf if you control them. All right? It's sort of like government. People do things for you, but you got to have the right controls on them. My dad would always buy 3 pigs. I can never understand why the 3 pigs. I said, why 3 pigs, Dad? You know, it seemed like maybe 4, maybe 2. Or as far as I was concerned, I like chicken. You know. But at any rate, he said, well, I'll tell you why. If you ever pay attention to pigs, you can figure it out for yourself. You get 3 pigs, and there's always one that gets both feet in the trough and crowds the other 2 out. That pig will grow faster, then we can slaughter it sooner, and we can have a little bit more for ourselves sooner. And then the other 2 pigs will start competing, and it all works out pretty well. By the time we get to the last pig who has all the stuff, it's late in the spring and we're ready for 3 more pigs. It's almost like an election cycle if you think about it. All right, well, this one time, the hogs got out and I spotted them. Now, I don't know how many of you grew up in a farm, but if a cow gets out, she just heads for more pasture. And after all, more pasture means she might actually give more milk. But when pigs get out, they head for everything. They think they own the place. They head into the barn if they can get away with it, and they eat the cow's feed. And once they're done rooting through that, they head out to the garden, even if they're not hungry, and just ramble through the garden, taking what they want, with a great sense of entitlement on top of it.
Spelled it correctly.
And when you try to corral these animals and bring them in, they'll have no part of it. It's like we're paying them, this is what we want, this is what we're going to have. Right? Do you recognize any of this? It doesn't matter who got hurt. It doesn't matter if the winter supply is gone. It doesn't matter if they're hurting themselves by spoiling their own feed for the future. They just want it all and they want it right now. So the pigs are all up, not all sweated up, trying to get it in. My dad comes around the corner, he says, what's going on here? I said, the pigs are all up. I'm trying to entice them to get back in. He said, you can't entice pigs. That implies they have common sense. These are pigs don't have common sense. That's why they're pigs. You gotta show them what to do. And he got some fencing and got some boards and we put in those pigs and we fenced them in. Then we slipped the noose around the back leg. I know some of you folks don't want to hear this. We lifted them up with the front end load on a tractor and all the squealing one at a time back into the pen where we let them down. And then he said to me, he talked about this a little bit, you know, about pigs. He says, you know, you really gotta think about these animals a little bit more. Think about how they think, because you can't apply logic to pig wisdom. It just won't work for you. He says, step back and understand it, because if you try to look at it from a pig's perspective, you're going to get all screwed up. So that's why what this is about is not waiting around for a miracle. I was hoping somehow those pigs would find reason and head back into their pen after they had had enough. That's not going to happen there, and it won't happen here. What we need to do is take back our government. We need to get more directly involved. We need to do the hard work of collaring and corralling and putting them back in their place. And if we can do that, if we're willing to take the time to regroup as citizens of Wisconsin, if we're willing to recalibrate how we approach both our public and our private life, then we'll dedicate our time. If we're willing to reconstitute the necessary elements of a democratic government, and if we recall those who don't serve us well, then we will own our government. My charge to you today, farmers and laborers, citizens, men and women, all people, students and otherwise, all those who are adversely affected by this reckless action of reckless people, take action today. Go home and never look back in terms of the things you do to bring Wisconsin back to democracy. Thank you very much.